it. Even when they spoke about these people, the best way for them to help us conceptualize is when they compared. When they compared. They say, so-and-so is not like so-and-so. So-and-so is weaker than so-and-so. So-and-so is stronger than so-and-so. Why? Because it is such a subjective science. Like, you don't have a measuring stick, right? You can't just walk up to people, you know how, like, you know, they take your temperature and it's like, okay, 97. You can help us understand where in the spectrum they fall, right? So when we say that somebody is thiqa and somebody is reliable, does that mean that they're all in one level?
No.
No, right? Because even amongst the people who are mawthuqun, or even amongst the thiqat, what happens? Right, there's levels. You have some people who are what? More precise. You have some people who are more religious, and so on and so forth. So these ideas or these gradings, it gives us an idea into which category these people fall into, but it doesn't necessarily give us specific insight into the person himself. Tayyib. So the precision, something extremely important. And the same thing applies here, that when you have people who are precise, you have people who are what? Some people are what? More precise than others. And there's some people who are extremely precise. Tayyib. That's the second. So we said that if it's something that is muntashir, right? If it's something that is well known. Precision was another one. What is something else that I should look for? The tabaqa. When we talked about the tabaqa, what does that mean?
The level of the narrator who's...
Sure. So where he is in the chain. So, and what did we say in general when it comes to these singular narrations?
Like if he was maybe close to him.
Okay, if he's close to the Prophet ﷺ, so if he's a companion, the chance of it being a low narration are what?
Higher.
They're higher, right? And the further I go down the chain, the chances of this low narration surviving, right, they diminish significantly. They diminish significantly. And in general, when we look at the scholars and how they use this as a grading tool, they'll say, from the Sahaba, this is normal. This is regular. From the Tabi'een, it's acceptable. From the Atba' Tabi'een, definitely you can see it. And after them, he's like, no, there's a problem there, right? They said up to this level, we were good. Right? Anything after that, it can be an extreme problem and actually a means to critique and reject a particular narration. What else? There's one last thing that I should look at. The students. Right? So if I have a student who came and just sat with it, doesn't make sense. So in general, these are the conditions that the scholars have put forward on why hadith methodology is sound. So what we're going to go through now, inshallah, is talk about some of how the sunnah was actually compiled. Right? That's the logical argument on why it was like this. Now we're going to talk about some methods and why the sunnah was compiled. And like we had said, the general purpose of the science of hadith is to help us differentiate between hadith that are sound versus hadith that are not. And this allows us to ascribe things to the Prophet ﷺ or to say things that are not ascribable to him. So the first thing that's important to understand is why did the scholars spend so much time with the sunnah? And one of the major reasons is that it is a legal authority. And we have, for those of you who attended the usul class, we said that the first source of Islam, if I want to understand halal and haram, what am I going to turn to?